Hey Bougie Clique. Are you dealing with a feminine man? Men now expect women to jump through hoops for them instead of the other way around. While the roles or responsibilities have not changed in centuries, the respect for those roles has. Women still do most of the work and now pay half of the bills. However, we still don't get any respect. Feminine men. Why is it when we talk about relationships it is always referring to how to get a man? We hardly ever discuss how to get a woman. There used to be a time where the woman was viewed as the prize, but in this day and age, that sentiment has been reversed. Men now expect women to jump through hoops for them instead of the other way around. While the roles or responsibilities have not changed in centuries, the respect for those roles has. Women still do most of the work and now pay half of the bills, but their role is less respected than it used to be. Men's roles have lessened, but they require more respect and admiration for their efforts. Men do not listen to what women want, because for the most part, they do not care. The tea is that they never did. Men's disdain for women has always been masked by our need for them. Women have often made excuses for horrible men because they lacked the options that would make it possible to live without one. Now that women do not need men for most things, a lot of them are choosing to be alone. That fact is expressed in the high divorce rate and women being the initiator of those divorces. A man never had to care about what a woman wanted because regardless of what she wanted, she needed a man. When you have lived a certain way for so long, it is hard to accept change. It is especially hard to change your mindset to fit a new and unwanted reality. In my opinion, the inability to accept this new reality where women have options is the reason for the uptick in male podcasts. Men are resulting to using scare tactics to shackle women back to them. If you cannot afford something you need, you start to negotiate. If the seller will not make the item more affordable to you, then you go without or get some more money. Women must force men to figuratively and literally get some more money. Women must be real about what they want and force men to rise to the occasion. Too many men are trying to tell women what they want when they have no clue. In reality, they are only defining what they are willing to give, and if you want anything other than what they are offering you are deemed delusional. You never take the first offer, especially if it is below market value. The way you accomplish getting what you are worth is to first know your worth. Having a woman is a luxury, and luxury does not negotiate or offer discounts. Men rarely settle. Even if men seem to settle, they are only using who they can get as a placeholder for who they actually want. If men are not settling, then why should women? Women have to stop letting men project their fears onto them. More men die alone and suffer from loneliness than women do. While men are always complaining that women do not listen, women are continuously changing to suit them. When men said they hate weave, we went natural. When men said be more feminine, we tried to lean on them more only to be let down. When men said be more fit, we started working out. However, when did men actually listen to us and change their behavior? How many times do women have to ask a man to do something before he actually does it, if he does it at all? We continue to tell men we want honesty and loyalty, but they still cheat. Some men barely take out the trash in a timely fashion so it can be picked up. Men have their own agendas, and it has nothing to do with us. To a man, a successful relationship is you doing what he says, and he is doing what he wants. They would rather we be seen and not heard. However, it is a new day, and women do not need men, especially in the capacity they are willing to operate in. Nevertheless, we still want men, but even that is weaning. Drizzle. The drizzle movement is a component of the larger social narrative referred to as the soft guy era. This trend arose in reaction to the soft girl era, where women were resisting societal expectations of career and financial achievements to prioritize self-care and, possibly, finding a partner for financial support. In the current era known as the soft guy era, men are moving away from traditional roles of being the main breadwinners in relationships. Instead, they are promoting a lifestyle centered on self-care, reducing stress, and prioritizing personal freedom. Within these conversations, the term drizzle is frequently mentioned, which is interchangeable with sprinkle, a phrase that gained popularity on TikTok in 2023. This discourse challenges the conventional belief that men are obliged to bear the financial burden in relationships and families. It's a dialogue about the evolution of gender roles, societal expectations, and the aspiration for personal freedom from these pressures, similar to the feminist critique of traditional female household roles. It's about crafting our own life narrative, liberated from societal constraints. Here's a breakdown of what the soft guy era entails. Self-care and personal freedom. Men in the soft guy era prioritize their well-being and personal freedom over the societal expectation to make a lot of money and provide for a partner and potential children. Challenging gender roles. The movement questions why men should be expected to pay for dates and provide for their partners or families by default, similar to how feminists have questioned traditional female roles. Misogyny. Misogynists often harbor an unconscious hatred towards women without realizing it. This deep-seated misogyny is usually developed early in life, often stemming from a negative experience with a female figure they once trusted. Whether it was an abusive or neglectful mother, sister, teacher, or girlfriend, these encounters can leave a lasting impact on their subconscious beliefs. After being planted, this seed will sprout and start growing. Its small root will navigate towards the brain's fear processing and memory regions, while its stem will extend into the frontal areas of the brain, influencing both emotions and rational decision-making. Behaviors indicative of a person with misogynistic tendencies encompass: he will focus on a woman and select her as his target. Her guard may be lowered as he is charming, engaging, entertaining, and charismatic initially. Over time, he starts to display a Jekyll and Hyde personality. This might lead to rapid shifts from charming to impolite, and then back to charming again. He tends to make promises to women that he frequently fails to fulfill. Conversely, when it comes to men, he almost always keeps his promises. He tends to be tardy for appointments and dates with women, yet he is consistently punctual when meeting with men. His behavior toward women, in general, is grandiose, cocky, controlling, and self-centered. He is highly competitive, particularly when it comes to women. If a woman outperforms him socially or professionally, he feels awful. In contrast, if a man surpasses him, he may have conflicting emotions, but can assess the situation rationally. He will treat women and men differently in workplace and social settings without realizing it, granting men certain freedoms that he will judge female colleagues or friends for. He might unknowingly resort to various means to make women feel unhappy. This could involve pressuring for or withholding sex in relationships, making derogatory remarks or jokes about women in public, appropriating their ideas without acknowledgement in professional settings, or borrowing money without repayment. On a date, his behavior towards a woman is usually the opposite of her preferences. For instance, if she is a traditional lady who appreciates a gentleman opening doors, ordering for both, and covering the bill, he will treat her casually like one of his male friends, order only for himself, and may even let her pay for the entire meal, regardless of her offer. On the other hand, if she is more independent and prefers to select her own meal and pay her share, he might assertively order for both and settle the bill while she is away. Sexually, he likes to control women and gives little or no attention to their sexual pleasure. Foreplay, if it occurs at all, is only a necessary means to an end. He likes oral sex, but only as a recipient. His favorite positions enable him to avoid looking the woman in her eyes. He is inclined to cheat on women he is dating or in a relationship with. Monogamy is the least commitment he believes he owes a woman. He might unexpectedly vanish from a relationship without formally concluding it, only to return 3 months later with an explanation crafted to draw the woman back in. Seldom will a misogynist exhibit all these characteristics, making it challenging to recognize them. Their charm and charisma can attract women, further complicating the detection of early warning signs. Individuals who harbor animosity towards women, often unknowingly, derive satisfaction from mistreating them. Whenever they belittle or upset a woman, they subconsciously experience a sense of gratification because, deep within their minds, their negative actions trigger a release of dopamine, a pleasure-inducing chemical. This reinforcement encourages them to perpetuate such behavior repeatedly. What do you think? Are you dealing with a misogynist? Let me know in the comment section. Stay bougie.